It's time to get lost in the Midcard. This Bleav in Pro Wrestling property is brought to you by Bet Online, the continued #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Join now and receive your 100% welcome bonus on your first deposit when you use our promo code Bleav. Now, here are Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black on the Bleav Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where it is good to be oozy. It is lost in the midcard. We are back at you here. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I cannot believe those 5 days off were already gone, but here we are back to work on a Monday, and we're back to work on this show for a Monday too, leading you up to Monday Night Raw at the top of the hour. We will talk Survivor Series tonight, our thoughts about how that went down. A couple of things after Survivor Series. It's going to be very WWE heavy, much like last week was AEW heavy. And a little indie note of some news as well. So thank you for tuning in, joining us live. We got Mark Cho, the president of the Austin Theory fan club. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But quite the performance. I thought that was a cool ending. We'll get into all that and much more. But first, welcome to the show. As always, my co-host. He is on the Twitter at RawF Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Survivor Series was a pretty fun show for the most part. And we got first hour of Raw commercial free tonight.
We do.
Supposed to be kicking off with Becky Lynch. We should have it. Should be a good night. I'm cautiously optimistic that they now have 2 months until the Rumble. So
apparently no December pay-per-view. So
no excuses to not start building some important stories tonight over the next 2 months. Like the Royal Rumble should be a tremendous climax on the road to WrestleMania with a 2-month build. No excuses at this rate. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no December pay-per-view. I guess they're just saying we'll give you NXT on Saturday. Is that a week from Saturday? The 9th? Is that right?
I think it's the 11th because it's the same day as Final Battle. No, it's the 10th, December 10th. Final Battle's in the afternoon, and then Deadline will be that evening.
10th is a Saturday. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking the 2nd was a Saturday for some reason, but all right. Senior editor at WrestleZone, Matt Black.
Made the official announcement earlier on today. Thank you, Mark Cho. I appreciate that.
I did not hear that announcement. So, Mr. Matt Black getting promoted at WrestleZone, I hear.
I am starting in December. Yep.
Attaboy. What's that entail? You
all kinds of stuff, man. All kinds of stuff. I'm looking forward to taking it on. I love my work at WrestleZone, and I can't wait to take on the new responsibilities and everything that comes with it. So should be good stuff.
Good stuff there. If you have not seen his stuff there, you definitely want to make sure you go check that out. All right, so obviously, what happened here? What's up, Steven Chambers in the chat?
What up, man?
No pay-per-view in December. Yeah, I guess we count NXT. I guess NXT.
I mean, it's ran the same way they do their WWE ones for Peacock. I guess we got to call it a pay-per-view or premium live event or whatever they want it to be called now. So
yeah, I suppose. Well, let's get into the lead right now. Of course, that lead is none other than what happened on Saturday night. Survivor Series WarGames happened. I did not watch it live, so if you're looking for my tweets, I apologize. I don't even think I tweeted when I watched it in pieces. I watched it some Sunday afternoon, and I finished it up this morning. So I watched it in 2 pieces. I thought overall it was a good show. I really didn't have much to complain about in terms of quality. I thought almost every match delivered. Obviously, Ronda and Shotzi was short and sweet, but we all expected that, so it didn't really surprise us at all.
I also didn't think it was bad as everybody else was making it out to be.
No, I didn't
Like,
think so.
a lot of people online were really like hardcore hating on that match. And look, it was no masterpiece. Like,
No,
it's not
but
going to be in anybody's top 50 match of the year
it was no
candidates
Chris
or anything
Masters.
like that. But it like people were talking about it like it was the worst thing they'd ever seen, and I was just like, I don't see it. I thought Ronda gave Shotzi a lot. I think this is their second match this year where Ronda's given Shotzi a lot of offense in their match. Clearly, she likes her. I thought they worked really hard. Look, everybody knew Ronda was going to win, but I didn't think a lot of people were like acting like that match was like the worst thing, and I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I did not. I did not find it to be that bad. Mark Cho saying, of course, he's a anti-theory, so hey. But I
Hey,
thought that
he's not wrong.
I
I
thought that
mean, and
match
like the
delivered
match
too.
was fine, but I did not like the finish. I knew as soon as he was added to the match on Monday, I was like, he's winning the title. Like
I thought,
I knew it. I had prepped myself ahead of time, and I should have prepped my Twitter timeline that I was going to be extra annoyed at the result because I got some Theory defenders in my replies. And like, look, I don't care if you like Theory. It's your prerogative. Knock yourself out. I think he sucks. And I don't think that viewpoint is ever going to change.
it's
So
my prerogative.
it is my prerogative. It's my opinion. Agree to disagree. That's just the way it is.
The obviously there was some things with Theory. Are they true? Who knows? But I would assume if they were very true, that Triple H would not have. Because I mean, look at what Velveteen Dream, is not wrestling anywhere either. So I kind of wonder the validity of some of those things.
Honestly, I think if social media was on WWE as much for Theory as they were for Velveteen Dream, Theory probably wouldn't have a job either. Like they were, like the social media was relentless on the Velveteen Dream thing. Even after Triple H came back and said they had their investigation and they didn't find
Yeah,
anything, like they would not let up. At the end of the day, WWE had just had to do. They had to let him go. They were in a no-win situation. It wasn't going away.
yeah.
So who knows what the story is? Who knows if it's true or if it's false? So like that's nothing I want to get into, especially now.
Yeah, so when I talk
Years
about
after the
Theory,
fact, but just
yeah, when I talk about Theory, it's basically what we see in the ring, and I'm liking what I see in the ring. I'm liking the evolution of Theory. We'll get into that, but first we have the women's War Games. Samantha Irvin. It almost sounded like who is the ring announcer?
She was trying way too hard.
She was trying to be like
some of her grumbly announcements on Saturday night. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Calm down.
What's her name? What's her name? Alicia Edwards? Or Alicia something? Or NXT's ring announcer. I'm drawing a blank.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Obviously, the announcer for the previous War Games is in the NXT era. Alicia Warrington. That's her real name. So, what is her WW name? Oh, maybe it is just Alicia Warrington. Alicia Taylor. There we go.
There you go. That sounds right.
So she was trying to be a lot like Alicia Taylor, though. We kick things off with Bianca Belair and Dakota Kai. I thought some of the stars of this, obviously Io Sky. We knew she was going to be a star of this match. She is no stranger to the War Games. I thought Nikki Cross did a hell of a job here as well. Obviously, Becky Lynch did not look like she had any rust on her 4 months away from the ring. And, of course, the big finish with her. I thought those were some of the stars of the show for the opening match. Hello, Gremlin got in my throat.
I've been there.
What were your thoughts on the opening match here, Matt?
I thought the women's War Games was good. My main issue with WWE's version of War Games, and I've had this for the last couple of years, so it hasn't really changed. I think the excessive use of weapons is kind of unnecessary. And I think the time it takes to get them into the ring really slows down like the process of the match and how important the man and woman advantage is in the thing. I think if they want to do the weapons in WarGames, this is just me, this is just my suggestion, I'd have all the weapons hanging from the cage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they could just yank them down and use them as necessary as the match progresses. I think the time that's taken to pull everything out from under the ring and get it into the ring kind of just it takes away the momentum that the match is building. And I don't really think it needs weapons. Like WarGames never needed weapons in the NWA WCW era, and Blood and Guts for the most part hasn't really needed weapons either. So I just think they could either scale back on it, or they could do it in a way where it's not going to slow down the momentum of the match. Just have the weapons, hooked on certain parts of the cage that the wrestlers can bring down throughout the course of the match. I think that would work out a lot better.
Steven, Mr. Elimination Chambers in the chat. Of course, thank you for everybody tuning in live and participating in the chat. Of course, so ask us any questions at any time. After seeing the Wyatt logo, really thought Alexa will turn heel. What are your thoughts on Alexa joining the Wyatt Six?
I think if anything, Wyatt's after her. I don't think she's going to be joining up with him again. I think I think Wyatt's going to be using someone like, the teases with Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
As his catalyst to go after.
Liv Morgan makes a lot of sense. Of course, she
Alexa,
is,
in the long run. That's what I think it's building to. But I mean, the whole Wyatt Six thing is dragging right now. And I really want them to advance this story sooner rather than later.
There is rumors that a female is going to be unveiled very soon. So I guess maybe we'll find out on Tuesday. We're not going to cover Raw and SmackDown tonight, obviously, because we have the pay-per-view to talk about. So we really don't. But again, LA Knight getting destroyed after cutting a good promo backstage with Megan. I think he talked with Megan. And so he got destroyed again by whoever it was. And we can also laugh because Ricochet beat Braun Strowman without a flip. He didn't win with a flippy move, but
it was technically a flippy move. He flipped them over.
It's okay. Yeah,
it's pretty flippy.
I'll give you that. Tom, what's up, Tom?
What's up, man?
Thanks for joining, Tom. Tom, I did an interview with Tom a few months back on his YouTube channel. Go check out Tom Talks Rubbish. So it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward. But you're right, it is slow, but I don't have to rush it either. But yeah, they kicked it into gear with LA Knight.
I just feel like we haven't gotten to the second chapter.
Yeah,
I feel like we're still on chapter 1, and he's been back for 2 months, and it's just like at least do a chapter a month.
Yeah,
like, well, show me some advancement. Like, if they delay Wyatt's first match to the Royal Rumble, that means that man came back and didn't wrestle for like 4 months.
Yeah.
And like, man, I mean, look, that's a great job if you can get it, of being a professional wrestler and not having to work. But I want some advancement, on this Wyatt story. And right now, it just seems like it's kind of dragging at the moment.
I mean, we got LA Knight now added to it, so that kind of puts it in there. But now, yeah, if we are going through with a Wyatt Six, so to speak, yeah, it's almost time. I don't know if Uncle Howdy's going to be the last reveal. I would hold him to last, especially if it is Bo Dallas. I would hold that as last and round out your.
I feel like you almost need to do him first. He was the first thing that's been introduced in the story.
Yeah, I think it's more if. Oh, look, we have made it. Because
porn bots.
We get porn bots, so we have made it. How about
Delete.
that? We have officially made it as a podcast when porn bots enter the chat.
When the porn bots attack.
But a very good WarGames match. The women and the men both really delivered as expected. We'll get to the men, of course, at the end. But like I said, I gave my props to Nikki Cross and Becky Lynch and to and to Io Sky for their performances in that match. They're standing out, but very cool. As expected, with Becky coming back, Team Belair won. Not a surprise. I think I got all my predictions right except for the U.S. title. Nope, I think I said Balor, so never mind. I got 3 out of 5. Hey, that ain't bad. Speaking of Balor and AJ Styles, not much to really talk about this one because you got 2 veterans that can go, and they delivered. We had some shenanigans in the beginning, but they all kind of cleared out and let AJ and Finn take hold. I loved the finish where Finn was going for a Styles clash and Styles turned it into a calf crusher. I thought that was a great counter there. And then of course AJ ending it with the phenomenal forearm. Nearly a 20-minute match. I thought there's not much to say because you knew these 2 guys were going to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, they don't have bad matches together. And going into this match, AJ Styles had not won a singles match on pay-per-view since defeating Humberto Carrillo at Crown Jewel 2019.
What?
Yeah, go look at it. The man had not won a singles match on WWE pay-per-view since Crown Jewel 2019. This match, this win for AJ was long overdue, and I could not be happier that they finally gave that man a singles win, on one of WWE's bigger shows because he deserves it. Former freaking WWE champion,
right?
Who honestly should always be somebody that should be considered to be in a title picture. And he just hasn't been lately. So I'm hoping this is something that, can propel AJ Styles back up to the upper echelon within WWE.
That could completely explain the look on his face when he won the match right here. I won one.
Finally.
Yes, I won one. Oh, my God. That's funny. Yeah, very good by those 2. I was surprised to hear that was the second time they've ever wrestled in a singles match in WWE. So
yeah, they've kept them apart. They make it special when it happens.
Yeah.
And the first time only happened by, accident.
Yep.
Thanks to the Wyatt situation and everything at the time. So
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, and then apparently they got in trouble for breaking kayfabe and doing a 2-sweet. But hey, what can you say? Shotzi and Ronda up next. Shayna Baszler out with Shotzi, or out with Ronda. Of course, no Raquel. I'm assuming come Rumble, it's going to be Raquel Rodriguez and Ronda Rousey for the title. Fair assumption.
You would think so.
Should probably be out for about a month. Probably be out for a month, and then starts the program there. I wouldn't be surprised if that's.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and we talked about this in the open. This was not as bad of a match as people say. It probably, geez, the porn bots are out again. We must really be making it in the world, huh? Oh wait, or they just posted the same message like 5 times? What the hell? It says try refreshing the page. Yeah, I'm not going to do that because we're kind of live, pal. Raquel out 6 weeks supposedly. Yeah, they're going to probably play into that, and then Royal Rumble. God, that's too long. Is it at the end of January like it usually is? I think it is.
Yeah, Rumble's at the end of January.
That's a long time. But they hyped the Rumble during the pay-per-view, so obviously we know that's the next one. Steven in the chat wouldn't mind if AJ gets a title run before he retires. I would not be shocked if he gets more than one. I don't know how long he wants to retire or how long he wants to stay going at it. I would assume he still probably has a lot left in him, probably especially since Triple H has taken over. And Mark Cho's right. If you make it with porn bots, you have made it. So,
and I think we need to bring this up. I know this wasn't on the docket, but this broke like right before we went on the air. Did you see Andrade El Idolo had surgery?
I just saw that.
Yeah, torn pectoral muscle, man. So that sucks. Best wishes to Andrade. I hope you heal up soon, man. No wonder he hasn't. I know he was sent home, but I mean, that's a good reason for not burning them back.
Yeah.
Get that surgery and get yourself taken care of.
A lot of people expecting he's going to go leave for the E, but yeah, Andrade.
I don't see that happening. I really don't.
Andrade tweeting out about half an hour ago, my first surgery, can't believe it happened. A few months ago, I tore my pectoral. Thank God I could have wanted to finish my match. I kept working because I love this business, but we know that many people do not value your effort. These days off, I took the opportunity to go to the doctor. So there you go. Torn pectoral. Who knows how long that's going to be? It could be, it's definitely going to be in the several month range there. So there you go. Yeah. How hard did Sammy push him backstage?
He's had this. He said he's been dealing with it for months. So he was working through the injury, which is not a good thing to do. You gotta, if you get that injury, man, you gotta go.
So in between matches,
time off and have the surgery.
In between matches, we had the whole, of course, Sami Zayn lying to Jey Uso right in front of his face as he listened to KO talk to him on SmackDown. And Sammy explained why he lied, and Roman liked it enough to not kill him. So again, this continues to be the best. This continues to be like one of the best stories WWE's done in the past 10 years. It plays out at the end of the night, which is going to be something we'll talk about here in a little bit. Stephen here, prayers to Mickie James and her family. I did not hear about this, but her brother, niece, and another pastor died in a car accident, and sister-in-law's in serious condition.
That's awful. Yeah, hearts out, condolences to Mickie James, man. That's awful. Holy crap. Yeah, that's the first I'm hearing about it too.
Yep, she shared let's see.
Jeez.
Yeah, she shared on Twitter yesterday the obituary. Yeah, her oldest brother on Tuesday. So about a week ago.
That sucks, dude.
Next up here on Survivor Series is the triple threat between Rollins, Lashley, and Theory. Ricochet tweet. Did you see Ricochet's tweet? Bobby always seems to get busted open.
What can you do?
I thought this was a very good match. I enjoyed the triple threat a lot. I thought the finish was pretty unique with Lashley delivering a spear, and but at the same time, you figured Lashley would get up a little quicker, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, the reaction time really made the finish a head scratcher. But the typical storyline of Austin Theory as a horseshoe up his ass remained, because he wouldn't have won the match without Lashley's assistance. He wasn't going to win this match on his own. So he won it by a fluke, which is what the Austin Theory character is. It's just I can't buy him as a credible threat or competitor to anybody. And I know everybody's saying he's great in the ring, but you know what? So is Chad Gable. I'd rather see Chad Gable in Austin Theory's position getting the push than Austin Theory. There's plenty of great workers in WWE, and I don't see what some people see in that in the kid. I just don't.
Yeah, but I'm liking kind of the new direction for Theory. He's no longer an idiot. He got rid of the selfie.
He's still an idiot.
He stood up to Bobby Lashley. He didn't be a chicken shit on Monday. He stood up to him last Monday on Raw. I kind of like the evolution, so it does kind of halfway make sense that they go and put the title on him, because I mean, obviously Rollins, he could be in the main event picture anytime now. He's one of the hottest baby faces. Lashley, again, he's in probably part of the high point of his career in WWE. So I think it's time for those guys to move on. And hopefully eventually we get them damn world title split whenever that may happen. So we'll see what happens. But Men's WarGames match, closing the show. Of course, the big story out of it all was, will Sammy turn? And we got that that crossroads, no pun intended for Cody. We got that crossroads at the end of the match when KO was being held up and Sammy hit him right in the dick. And then pointed to Jay to do a splash, and that ended the match. And how about that, Matt? We get Jay and Sammy hugging it out at the end of the match. Did you ever think that was going to happen?
No, I popped for it though.
Right, I did too.
Yeah, it was definitely a pop worthy moment. I was just like, yeah, that's pretty freaking cool. The whole Sammy dynamic is really just has changed everything for the Bloodline story.
Yeah.
You know what? Look, I was saying a couple months ago how the Bloodline was kind of dragging in story progression. The addition of Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa have completely changed the dynamic of the Bloodline story and have made them once again the top act and story within WWE right now.
Yeah.
Wyatt just needs something similar to advance his story, and I think he'll be back on track as well.
Yeah, it like I said, it started out several years ago with just the Usos and Roman and that whole dynamic. Jimmy making his return and main event Jay, and there was so many great parts to that story. And then they just keep building on that story, adding Paul Heyman and then Sammy and Solo. It's been some of the best storytelling they've done in over a decade, and it's been almost a 3-year long story to get to that point. I do you still think the end game is they turn on Sammy and KO makes the save, or is now the end game that Sammy strikes first by winning the Royal Rumble?
No, I still think the end game is the Bloodline turning on Sammy and KO making the save to show that despite it all, he was his true friend all along. I think that's the direction that they're going. As far as Roman's Royal Rumble opponent, to me, it's either KO or Sheamus. If they want to go wild, they can do Sammy versus Roman in Montreal at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And then you can lead into, to Roman and Cody at Mania, or Roman and Rock, or whatever,
again,
whatever we're gonna get.
We don't know if the Usos are going to be able to be at Elimination Chamber. So
I still think the way the story is progressing right now, they can easily wait and do KO and Sammy against the Usos at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have plenty of time to burn at that rate.
I just kind of thought
fine.
I just kind of thought now that Sammy and Jay are on the same page that this extends. And then
it definitely does extend. I mean, but that's the great thing about WrestleMania being, 5 months away.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking maybe it extends all the way to the point where Sammy wins the Royal Rumble.
I don't see that happening with the Rock and Cody Rhodes and the Waynes. Triple H is not gonna sacrifice one of those marquee matches for Sami Zayn. As much as we all love him, the general population does not consider Sami Zayn to be a WWE WrestleMania main event player. Main event Elimination Chamber, sure. Main event WrestleMania,
I don't know.
I don't see that.
He's starting to catch on, so you kind of wonder.
I'm not arguing that. I love Sami Zayn. I'm thinking from a WWE corporate structure standpoint when they're putting the marquees on WrestleMania, what they do. Like, let's look at this year's. It was KO and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
And it's going to be year. Next year, it's going to be Roman Reigns night 1, night 2.
That's what I'm hoping for. To me, honestly, that's the best way they could go.
Well, if you're going to include, if The Rock is still in the plans, that is.
Yes, if The Rock is in the plans, you have Roman work both nights, and it's Rock Roman night 1. Roman wins, and then he drops it. He loses to Cody on night 2. Or that's what I would do.
Or if The Rock is not in the cards, this is your way to split the belts and make him defend one each night too.
Well, I saw Alex Pulowski suggest this over the weekend on social media from Fightful, and it's not a bad idea if The Rock's not involved. They could end up doing the winner of the Rumble and the winner of Elimination Chamber, and end up doing like a triple threat style match for the titles at WrestleMania. I don't know if that would be something that they would want to do, but even without The Rock, they could even do the two. They could still do the 2 nights. They'd be like Triple H, be like, we need to separate these titles following WrestleMania, or
Yeah.
or you need to be on both shows. This is what we're gonna do: winner of the Rumble, winner of the Chamber, night 1, night 2. Those you're fighting both matches. One's for one title, one's for the other, and we'll see what you come out with. You know, that type of deal. I mean, Reigns could retain the Universal Championship, but drop the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, like whatever,
So
whatever title he's held the longest, I would have him retain.
yeah, Universal. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying they should keep on going with that, but
Yeah.
drop the WWE title and give that to Cody.
I mean, we haven't even seen that type of a reign in the UK. Walter had it for 600 plus days. Pete Dunne had it for a long. I think Pete Dunne had it nearly 600 days too, if I'm not
They were
mistaken.
Walter was over 800 days.
Was he over 800?
Yeah, I think it was 839. Don't quote me on that. It's very close, somewhere around those lines for his he had it
870.
870. Okay, so yeah, I was some off.
And
But yeah,
Pete Dunne had it.
historic reign for
Yeah.
Walter in NXT UK.
Pete Dunne had it for 685.
Yeah, and Reigns is on track to eclipse everybody.
Yep.
Them anyway. I don't think he's going to get to like Hogan or Bruno territory, but for the modern day to do what he's doing is crazy.
Yeah. And just when people are getting tired of it, it continues to evolve and work, and people are now cheering the Bloodline. They're cheering Roman Reigns. This is not, if John Cena held that title for that long in the Ruthless Aggression era, my God, would there be bitching every day of the week?
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
We don't see that with Roman Reigns, and we're 900 days into this thing almost. So it's pretty interesting to just see how they've been able to succeed with all that. Speaking of Roman Reigns, there was some news from Fightful Select of a little bit of a heated temperament from Roman Reigns after the Survivor Series, and from Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful Select. They learned that Roman Reigns was visibly upset after the Survivor Series main event, specifically about a spot within the match. It was rumored among those that they spoke to that Reigns took exception to what he perceived as an unplanned spot between him and Kevin Owens as he walked backstage. He mentioned possibly having a ruptured eardrum and wanted the spot to go as originally as planned. The exclamation was said they would have been expletive filled, and it was clear to everyone that Reigns was not happy. Those they spoke to did not believe there was any extended heat. It was more of a heat of the moment type of thing, and there hasn't been any physical altercations or anything backstage after that, and expect the two are going to be able to coexist for work purposes. And another put over that Reigns and Owens are passionate about what they do, and figured if there were issues, they'd end up talking about it directly. Reigns did not appear at the press show conference either as planned. So a lot of people were speculating that it was the slap, possibly.
It's the only thing it could have been.
Yeah.
Honestly, like KO, and if you could make an excuse if it would have accidentally been with somebody else, but if you look at the interactions that Owens and Reigns had in that match, literally the only two things it could have been was one, the slap, or two, the super kick that he hit when Reigns was going for the spear. Like other than that, there's literally nothing in their interactions that would have stemmed for this to happen. Yeah. So that had to have been what it is.
And I'm sure Roman's over it already today, so it's probably going to be a whole lot of.
It's a whole.
KO's going to get buried. No, he's not.
To me, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of nothing. But it's an interesting story nonetheless. Look, I'm sure people get heated in the back.
Oh yeah,
in the locker room all the time. They blow it off and they let it go. And I'm sure I'm sure Roman is mature enough at this point in his career that he knows it's easier to just let something like this go.
He ain't gonna poop in anybody's gym bag. So
you would
Steven
surely
Chambers
hope not.
in the chat. Speculation: Brock's going to wrestle Royal Rumble. Who would be a good opponent for Brock? Gunther? Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun to see.
If he's still holding the Intercontinental title, that's not happening.
No.
I
think Braun's taking it off of Gunther, anyways. Eventually,
you think before the Rumble or at the Rumble?
That's a good question because obviously I think Ricochet is going to beat Santos Escobar, but not beat Gunther. I mean, if he beats Gunther, that's going to be a shock.
I mean, he's the one that dropped the title to Gunther, right?
Exactly. I
don't think he's.
I think it's all set up for Braun. I don't even think it has to be the Rumble. You know, you've done a lot of these as SmackDown main events, so
I'm just saying that it's a good thing to actually get more IC and US titles defenses on the premium live events.
Yeah,
which is something they greatly scaled back on during the last couple years of the Vince era. So I think matches like that are important. As far as Brock goes, like the Lashley rubber match is right there.
Yeah.
Unless they want to wait till Mania, but in my opinion, I'm sure they probably already have another plan for Lesnar at WrestleMania. So we'll see. I think Lesnar Lashley fight pit, whether that's at the Rumble or whether that's at WrestleMania, I think that's the ultimate blow off. And heck, if Lesnar's not fighting Lashley at the Rumble, I'm having Lashley cost Lesnar the match at the Rumble to set up their rubber match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe Lesnar's in like a number one contenders match or something, and Lashley costs him the match. Just something to explain, where they're going with that. Because right now, Lesnar doesn't really have a storyline right now. But I mean, of course, they want him at the Rumble. What's one of their big four?
There's 2 months for a story now. Plenty of time. Our only non-WWE story of the day comes from PWG, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, the very first participants for the return of the Battle of Los Angeles, of course, with COVID. They have not done the past couple of years, but
pretty sure they had one 2022. Pretty sure they had one last year.
Yeah, they did last year. Yeah, they did last year.
Yeah.
This is so this is going to be for 20. I got a little confused for a minute because the article says 2022, but this is actually 2023 because the 2-night tournament is January 7th and 8th. But yeah, 2022 was won by Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
And the first participants have been announced for the tournament for 23. Of course, Speedball Mike Bailey has been announced, as well as Michael Oku, Shun Skywalker, Masha Slamovich, and Commander, the high flyer that you've seen in GCW. So those are the first participants.
Good start.
Yeah, very good start. Masha can definitely mix it up with the men. Commander can do insane shit on the ropes. And so
I don't think the winner has been announced yet. I'm not sure who the winner is, but I don't think he or she has been announced yet.
No,
I don't. We'll see. We'll see in the coming weeks. But for now, I don't think the winner has been revealed yet in the brackets.
Past winners include Kenny Omega, El Generico, Adam Cole, Bebe, Kyle O'Reilly, Ricochet, and Bandito.
A lot of big names.
I could very well
big names.
I could very well see Masha winning it, to be honest with you.
I don't think so. I think her momentum's been cut off in the last month with Impact. I don't foresee.
Yeah, she should have beat Jordynne Grace.
I thought for sure when they rematched, she was gonna win the rematch, and they didn't do it. I'm like, okay, they've halted this push. Yeah. And I think that hurts her momentum overall.
Anybody come to mind?
No, because I'm not sure who they're going to add. You never know who you're going to see in the Battle of Los Angeles. But I feel like when the name is announced, I'll know. I'll be like, yeah, that's who they're looking at to win this year.
Yeah, I mean, I know their business model, but man, I would have loved to pay to watch this.
I think honestly, in the year rolling on to the year 2023, I think PWG needs a new business model.
Yeah.
Get on Fight Plus.
There are so many people.
Share your product live with the world.
There are so many people that would love to watch at least this live, if not just any other PWG events, of course. But obviously, the Battle of Los Angeles is basically their WrestleMania. It's a great tournament. It's very entertaining, and they have a great lineup every year. And so, yeah, people, I just can't believe
it's kind of wild, right?
I just can't believe there's not more of a push for it to be a live event for people that are not in the area. So that's a hard ticket to get to, by the way.
Yeah.
We got a little more from Sean Rossap at Fightful Select. A source within WWE talks about with Fightful Select the culture improvement with the new regime, with Triple H being in control. WWE delivering strong quarterly numbers, and everything is seeming safe from the business side of things since Vince has stepped down. And it's been reported to nobody's surprise, backstage morale has improved significantly. Speaking with members of the locker room over the past several months, the culture has changed based on those that are willing to speak on it. Almost everyone has said that work was much more fun and easygoing compared to the Vince McMahon era, with one saying there's no perpetual fear of getting fired for things that you can't control. Another noted that there's still some talent that aren't being used effectively, but it's a vast improvement over where things were in the summer. Creative input and ability to improvise are also things that were touted the most among who spoke with Fightful Select. A huge contrast compared to the 2022 Royal Rumble, where numerous talent that they spoke with looked back at that point as an all-time low for them in the company. They felt creatively and booking wise that they were losing faith in Vince McMahon as a creative force and a leader. Go figure. And one said that they thought that they would always maintain faith in Vince to some degree, but even that eroded based on the Royal Rumble last year. And compared to the last several months, there is still optimism of Triple H's booking and creative, despite there being hiccups. Of course, a lot of that is no surprise because we've watched NXT grow and what NXT became, and so there's always a blueprint of what Triple H can do. It hasn't been perfect, but I mean, you almost saw it on the just on the faces of the wrestlers on that SmackDown the day of Vince announcing his retirement. You could just see it on their faces. And Michael Cole is another example as well. I think Corey Graves has joked about how much more relieved and relaxed Michael Cole is now because he doesn't have Vince yelling in his ear.
Can you blame him?
Yeah. None of that's real. Yeah. So a lot of what I said is not really a surprise to anybody that has really paid attention for however long you've paid attention. So some interesting information was given at now that WWE is starting to do press conferences. Some interesting information. Paul Heyman speaking at the Survivor Series press conference after the show, and gave his thoughts on Sammy's importance to the Bloodline. And Paul said that the dichotomy that he has with every member of the Bloodline. How many times have you seen the Bloodline absolutely cannot contain a laugh in the ring when we're in front of a sold-out arena with worldwide television cameras? Sammy brings that dynamic that none of us were prepared for, and we've prepared for everything. What Sammy also brings in connection with the audience is that none of us have, because we've been too busy being the top act in the entire industry for over 2 years. Sammy, to me, from my perspective and the Tribal Chief's perspective, represent the member of the audience who gets his one chance to step in the ring, live out his dream, and does it so well every week. We say, do you mind coming back next Friday? We'd love to have you as part of the act. That's who Sammy has become. He's a guy that was going to get a guest spot on a TV series and ended up being part of the cast because he's just so damn passionate and so good at what he does. Very great words from Paul Heyman in relation to Sammy. Obviously, you can tell by the crowd reactions that Sammy is one of the most over people in the company. Him and Seth Rollins are two of the top ones right now. And it was interesting. It's much like RK Bro was supposed to be a one-night thing. Sammy and the Bloodline was supposed to be a one-night thing. And look what happened, Matt.
You never know what's going to catch on with the audience, man. You just never freaking know. And I think that's part of what makes professional wrestling so great to begin with. You just
right.
when an owner is in tune with their audience and they see something that's getting over organically and they choose to just go with it instead of bury it,
Yeah.
it's beneficial to the company, to the fans, to the wrestlers, to everybody. And WWE's been doing that a lot more under Triple H's thing. Tony Khan's doing that with AEW. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan right now because it feels like more so than ever, wrestling fans are being listened to. And that's awesome.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And we know the future of Triple H just ties right into that. So it's going to be a very interesting 2023 for sure. I did not watch NXT again. I just am so damn busy. I had to, holiday.
You missed nothing.
I had to work 2 nights of trivia this week. I worked Tuesday as I usually do, and I had to do Wednesday as well. Football, drinking, karaoke, 5-day weekend. I just did not get NXT in, so I'm sorry. I found out that Scripps is Reggie, and boy, does he look like an idiot.
The most dollar general mask I've ever freaking seen in my life. Why couldn't they got that man a better mask?
Oh man, I saw somebody like with a spot on comparison, and I forget what it was now. I wish I could have found that tweet or something.
Look, the mask is bad. The dude deserves better than this. He's an entertaining competitor. They didn't need to bring him back as freaking Scripps. Because the gimmick the build up to what Scripps was supposed to be based on these phone calls is nothing compared to what Scripps is doing on the screen. He's not trying to tear down NXT. He's going in there trying to have banger matches.
It's not in the script. It's not in the scripts, Matt.
On?
It's not in the scripts, Matt.
It's so weird, dude.
I assume the main event was good though, with Wesley, Carmelo Hayes, and Dijak returning.
Yes, Dijak is back, looking like straight out of the Matrix.
Good, Matt.
He's ready to roll.
Good main event.
Yeah, it was good. Of course it was. Like you're not going to put Carmelo Hayes and Wesley in a match together and have a bad match.
No. Wow, I just saw a Dijak photo there, rocking some dark hair. What did they call him?
He's Dijak.
Dominic
Dijak. No, they Vic Joseph said it's Dijak, and Booker T said who? Because of course he's an idiot who doesn't follow the product. So
effing Marks.
He's the worst.
Like
I mentioned on Twitter last week during NXT, Booker T on commentary is a gift, but the type of gift that you try to return after you get it for store credit as soon as humanly possible. That's what Booker T is.
Well, in a little over 1 month, we will
get Pat McAfee back, and Wade will go to NXT, and Booker T will go bye-bye. That would be the most opportune scenario. Then all we need to do is fix the Raw commentary team.
I will admit, though, that Booker T is doing a better job than I thought he would. And he's not. He's not.
You say this, but you're not watching.
But
you haven't watched it 2 weeks in a row.
I've watched every week before that with him on commentary.
He's not doing good. I promise you.
Well, like I said, you only got 1 week left. So let's
we got 4 or 5 weeks left.
We got 1 month left is what I was trying to say. But we're gonna move from that logo to this logo as we talk AEW Dynamite. I did not watch Rampage. How was Afternoon Rampage? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I thought it was really good, and they closed it with that very serious storyline with 10 turning on the Dark Order and throwing the mask at -1's feet.
Ooh.
-1 sold the shit out of that storyline, man.
I did not read the results yet.
Oh, so, dude, it was so good.
Wow.
Like -1, even at a young age, he gets it.
Yeah.
You know what he's doing.
As soon as he turns 18,
I can't wait to see him turn 18 and beat Preston Vance's ass. That's what I want to see.
They're gonna unleash him when he turns 18, man. Him and Hook will have some bangers. Yeah, I don't know what else. Anything else happened on Rampage?
Oh, I know other stuff happened. I'm having difficulty remembering it at the moment.
Yeah, like
You
my
can't pull
usual.
up a results sheet and help me out here, JP.
Yeah, my usual source did not post results. FTR and Top Flight. Oh, did
Yes,
did
FTR and Top
Dante
Flight
get hurt?
open. Apparently he's okay.
Okay, good.
So great news on that front. No, that match was awesome. I can't believe I blanked on that. Yeah,
Darby.
that opened the show in the 6-man between Dark Order and Roosh the Douche and Butcher and the Blade closed. And there
Anthony
was clearly
Henry.
something in the middle. Yeah,
Anthony Henry and
and
Darby Allin.
Darby Allin. Yeah,
Sheeta took on Queen.
that was a blink and you missed it match.
Yeah.
Like literally, it was probably less than 2 minutes, if that. It might have been even less. It was a sheet of squash.
Yeah, man, Dark Order can't afford to lose people.
Well,
Just
we thought Stu was back, and we haven't seen him since. And like people were saying, they think he might have only been there for a spot because they were in Canada and that's where he lives. Like I want Stu back. Bring Stu back.
MJF was away filming the Von Erich thing.
Yep.
So William Regal leading off the show, getting a lot of FU chants. Moxley comes out, wants to kill him. Bryan Danielson stops Mox from doing that because he still loves William Regal, even though what he did. I thought that open was some good shit there. I loved that. Was intense with those three guys.
Yeah, it was a great open, and it took you in a direction you didn't really expect them to go, and it's certainly intriguing to find out what's next. So, we're gonna hear from MJF Wednesday night. So
Moxley
get
says
the next chapter from that.
Moxley says he goes, Lordship, I only want one thing from you. I want you to run far away as you can, and never ever come back.
Which isn't happening. We'll probably see him this Wednesday.
Right.
It's not like his contract's up anytime soon. He's still got months on his deal.
That was a great start to the show, though. Orange Cassidy and Jake Hager. Props to the person that brought the Jake Hager hat sign. That was well done.
Props to Jake Hager for getting over in 2022 with a purple fucking hat.
A bucket hat, even.
Unbelievable.
Those things went out of style.
Dude, it's over now. He's freaking over.
I know. Those things
He's
went
never
out of...
been, dude, no offense, even during his world title run, he's never been as over as he is right now.
Real Americans were pretty over. With Cesaro.
I still don't think that was over to the level he is right now. This hat thing is on another level, man.
Oh man, it's funny. It is a little silly that it cost him the match, but still, it's funny that he's getting it over, and I love it. Orange Cassidy still your All Atlantic champion. The factory comes out because they're trying to give the people what they want, and then the factory comes out because QT Marshall's a boner killer. And then, oh boy, got a little chilly in the room. House of Black coming back, kicking ass, acting a little more babyface like, which I kind of dig. And yeah, they just whooped everybody's ass, and I enjoyed it. Welcome back. I'm excited. Good shit, pal. Ethan Page and Ricky Starks did exactly what they're supposed to do and give us a hell of a final for the Eliminator tournament. Absolutely loved it. Ricky Starks gets the win, even though he sold the beatings he took from two meaty men to get to that final. He sold that really well in the match. It was cool to see him get out on top. You don't have to worry about a finger poke of doom, Matt.
I was very relieved.
Best of 7, number 2 with the Death Triangle and the Elite. I need to watch BTE yet. I haven't watched that yet. This time Penta using the hammer and got the win. So now Death Triangle up 2-0. Kidding. This is going 7.
I think they're doing the Cavs Warriors thing.
Oh,
I think
3-0?
the leader. No, 3-1.
Oh, okay.
Remember, the Cavs were down 3-1 going into Game 5 because Cavs won. I think they won Game 3, and I think the Elite will win the third match. I think that Triangle will win the fourth, and then the Bucks will have to, run the gauntlet to win the final 3. I think that's the story that they're gonna tell.
The beautiful Renee Paquette announcing that Thunder, like I had mentioned last week on the show, that I fully expected Thunder Rosa to relinquish the title, and look what happened. I expected it later than now. I didn't expect it to happen 2 days after I mentioned it, but hey, here you go.
It was the right call to make.
And they also make Tony Storm's reign official as well. That led to a triple threat tag match with the women. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker getting the win there, and we're just counting the days until Britt Baker turns on Jamie Hayter because we know it's coming. And a great main event: Tomohiro Ishii, Jericho. My God, it may have been fake, but I've never seen someone boast it open like that from chops. Some say it might have been fake. I don't know.
I don't think it was fake. You're not gonna razor blade your chest, dude.
Well,
that's dangerous.
Jericho's a crazy.
It's one thing to razor blade your forehead. It's another thing to razor blade your chest.
5 minutes till Raw. Sean Ross Sapp, get well soon. He's under the weather, so there are no Raw plans. Becky Lynch is opening the show. First hour's commercial free. Dexter Lumis is taking on Miz for the chance to get a contract. I'm forgetting one thing. What am I forgetting? There's one more thing I'm forgetting. Maybe nope, that's it. That's all that's announced.
I was gonna say they haven't announced much for tonight. I'm hoping for a great show. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
let's
hopefully.
Go. Let's get a great show out of WWE tonight, because we are officially on the road to the Royal Rumble.
Yes, sir. And All Elite Dynamite AEW coming live to you from some city. I don't know where.
They're in Indianapolis.
Where the fuck are they? Oh,
Indianapolis.
Maybe Pat McAfee will show up.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Match 3 of the best of 7. Of course, as we said, Death Triangle up 2-0. MJF will speak. Willow Nightingale taking on Anna JAS. Jade Cargill's TBS Championship celebration. And oh boy, this is going to be good. Bryan Danielson versus Dax Hardwood. Hardwood. That's going to be a banger, boys.
Go.
I've been saying how bangers being overused in wrestling, and I keep saying it now. So, but hey,
Taz was ranting about it on Twitter this morning. So,
oh well, what can you do? Thank you for tuning in, joining us live as we go every Monday before Monday Night Raw, your unofficial official lead into Raw. Hopefully it's a good show. Survivor Series, I wouldn't say it's the best pay-per-view of the year, but it was definitely very good. I agree. Well, with that, any final thoughts, Matt?
No. Let's just hope we have a great week of professional wrestling. That's what I'm going for right now.
There you go. Mark Cho catching a lost in the mid-card inside joke with I can't remember, Ass Healer or something, and then Dax Hardwood. Yeah. Speaking of Hardwood, Dax talking about Dana Bryan talking about Hardwood way too much in the locker room, apparently. That'll come to Fightful Select tomorrow. So you can look forward to Bryan Danielson talking about penises tomorrow on Fightful Select. But for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost the Midcard. We'll be back at you. Same bad time, same bad channel next week.